Well, I didn't bring enough cider, and this was a gift. As well, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. The reason you've clicked it, and you've probably seen it on social media, I've struck gold on here. So for some reason, my luck has changed completely on here. Last season, just catching double after double. Lost a few fish, which I'm sure would have been bigger fish, but just could not break the 20-pound mark on here. And there's some big fish, but this season, I can't seem to be getting anything wrong. I've lost a couple of fish, of course. If you've not seen part 1 of Syndicate Diaries, then go back and watch that. It should have gone up yesterday if you're watching this one as the day it goes up, which is the Saturday, so a double upload over a weekend. I wasn't going to make this video from this quick after the first one, but this session, well, I caught a fish of a lifetime, really. And it was on the rod, or the middle rod, sorry, which is going to the island. So I rocked up this morning, and there was someone in this swim. I saw that peg 4 was free, so I was going to go into peg 4 before I discovered that someone's in peg 3. You can't see peg 3 from the car park or these swims, and it basically fishes the same water as 4, so that wrote 4 off. So I was either going to have to go over in 6, 7, 8, 9, or there isn't a 10, so I don't know why I kept on going. I'd have to fish in one of those bits, but I haven't fished that this season, so I've caught out of this swim and I've caught out of 4, but the person that was in here was on their way out in about an hour's time. So I hung about, and he actually had a fish while I was here, so it just firmed up in my mind I wanted to be in this swim. Put the washing line rig out once again on the right rod, which I'm pretty confident on tonight. It went out perfect first time. I just love that presentation. It's a lot of effort, but as I said in the previous video, again, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it, because that's what I had my then PB, but the reason you're watching this video is I've caught a new one. But anyway, that one's gone out absolutely perfect. I'm pretty confident on that one. Then put the right rod out, or the middle rod, to the pads, probably that far off the pads, literally dropping it right on the edge. A few boilies around that, perfect. Fishing locked up, peg in front of the the reel, sorry. And I'm fishing that exactly how I did. If you haven't seen fishing locked up to lily pads, again, I'm plugging all these other videos. Go and watch that, because that's how I'm fishing on that one. And then the left rod, I've just put over to the island, which again, is just round from where I've been catching fish from 4. Rods have been out, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours. And the middle rod, which is fishing locked up, bobbing, hit up, bouncing around, and obviously fishing locked up, it can't take line. So I was up in a flash, sat just behind the rod, struck into it, nothing. So not sure what happened there. I checked the rig, still pin sharp, tubing hadn't moved, lead hadn't discharged. So whether I just struck into a line or a fish ran through the line and I struck it because I was so close to it, I don't know. Either way, bit gutted, got the rod resorted, back in the baiting pole, shipped it back out, dropped it exactly where it was again. No extra bait, because I'm pretty sure fish hadn't been grazing around the area. Sat back down, it couldn't have been more than 5 or 10 minutes. Bobbin smacked into the blank again, struck into it, and this time I was 100% connected to a fish. And because I'm so tight to the pads and fishing locked up, I wasn't taking any risks. Rod was sideways, and I pretty much bullied it out of the pads. I could feel it lunging, trying to get in there, every now and then grating on the pads. It was right on the entrance to them. Eventually managed to get it out. It went around the front of the pads and then just started to take off into mid-water. I had to loosen the clutch then, and it just stripped line straight out into mid-water. Eventually slowed it down, and I think I must have been playing the fish about 10 or 15 minutes. It would come in, I saw it. Now, one of the things it did is it breached, like the shoulders came out and its dorsal. And I've seen the fish that I now know I caught be caught by someone else before, and I remember seeing when they played that fish, it did exactly the same thing. Even out in mid-water, it came up completely directly, and so the shoulders would pop out the water and the dorsal, and I could see that, and I thought, surely not, my luck's not that in. Continued to play it, it was just a solid fish. The runs were just unstoppable. I didn't want to tighten the clutch, because if I did, I'm sure I would have just pulled the hook out of its mouth. And then I'd get some line on it, again it would just boil on the surface and shoot off, and sometimes it would just hold exactly where it was. Wouldn't want to budge. I couldn't get anything on it. It wouldn't take line. It just felt like a dead weight, almost like I'd snagged the bottom, but it was moving on an arc. It's just solid. Came to the surface the first time, went on its side. I thought, here it comes. That's a big fish. Boiled off and shot off again, and it did that 3 times. So I'd seen the fish by this point. Knees were going. I was just willing this fish to go in. It got close again. Shot off down this margin. Luckily, because I've got this one on the washing line rig, the line went straight under this one. I had plenty of room to play it, but rod was down, bent double, stripping line down this reed line, and I've lost too many fish in the reed. So again, I didn't want it to get in there. I had to put a bit of pressure on, and then it shot off towards the road bank. It was all over the place, this fish. Such a powerful fish, and eventually got it in. The third time it popped up on the surface, quite far out. I was bringing it in, slipped in, and elation set in. Now, again, if you've seen the previous one, you'll see when I caught a big common before, I got a bit ahead of myself and thought this was one of the 40s. We now know it wasn't. It was a PB at the time, only Friday, so less than a week ago. It was a PB at the time at £30, 6 ounces. My first ever £30 common, PB common, and elated with that. But this time, lifting it up in the net, there was no doubting this was a 40. You could put a saddle on it back. And I didn't quite recognise the fish. I called one of the other members down to come and have a look, and he wasn't 100% sure on what it was. But we weighed it, and well, that's what you're about to see, the weigh-in. Yep. Only just started going back to the gym, so.
Then you've got a small hook on it.
Oh. Try not to swear because I'm on camera.
46.1.
46.1.
It might well, you have to wait and see. It might be long. Well, we tested those against Alex's the other day, and it was spot on. So.
Oh, well, it's smashed my UK PB by over £10. Tell you what, then, should we get it back in the water until Jenny comes?
Yeah.
In case you missed that, £46 one.
46.1.
Unbelievable. Right, you want to grab the other side? Make it a bit easier and more stable.
Yeah.
Good. So once we weighed it, as you saw, we stuck it back in the water and waited for the owner to rock up so that we could just completely check what fish it was. And of course, she likes to see the fish when they come out, see the condition they're in. And it's always nice to see a fish of that size and scale and how well it's doing. So it turns out it's a fish called the long common, which is one of the most sought after fish in here. And yeah, £46 one, it's a good weight for this time of year. It's done over £49 before. So obviously it's not its biggest ever weight, but it is one of the biggest in here and completely blown me away. My previous PB was 35.10, I think it was, and that's back in the days when I fished Hunt Street Main Lake quite a lot. If you haven't seen that one, you can again click the link below. There's a video to that Main Lake Diaries when I caught my PB. So that PB has stood for years for the UK, and even abroad the biggest I've had is 39.14. That was from France when we fished with Carpology. So this has just smashed all PBs out of the water, whether it be in this country or others. And yeah, I'm waffling a lot now, but it's still hours on, not fully sunk in. Just an absolutely incredible fish. So we then got it out, and like I said, we saw it was the long, and yeah, now you're about to see me attempt to lift this thing. I don't know what's going on. I'm Mr. Double. These aren't doubles at the moment. Right, you've got to tell us what it is.
I think it might be the long catch. Yeah. No, long's Immaculate. You look on the other side.
He's flicked the scale off in the fight, I think.
Yeah, no, that's not Terry's.
How's that look on there? Whew. Well, this is Syndicate Diaries Part 2 getting kicked off with a bang. One of the lake's big uns at £46 1 ounce. So although last time I thought I had one of the 40s, it was vastly wrong by probably about £15. This one certainly is much bigger, and it's a new PB of course at 461, so smashed my UK PB by just over £10. I'm not going to hold it for much longer because I've been going to the gym long enough, but what a fish. Over the moon. Oh. Sweet, yeah. So absolutely mega fish, and like I said, I've still got the night ahead of me. I'm off in the morning, and kind of got my missus to thank for this session because, well, she won't mind me saying this because she listens to all my videos when I make them as well. We had a bit of a to-do because I'm out fishing on the weekend. By the time this video goes live, I'll be on the banks of Todburn Manor, Big Haze, fishing the YouTube Bloggers Match, 48 hours. Last week I fished 48 hours. This week I said I was going to fish the Syndicate, and it wasn't met with the most enthusiasm, I think it's fair to say. and I managed to wangle 24 hours, get one night in, and I've caught the fish. You've also got my missus to thank for the fact I'm filming these little Syndicate Diaries, because she was pushing me to get more content out, because I've always been saying I want to get more content out, but didn't feel like doing these half-hearted videos on the Syndicate would be as good a quality as what I normally like putting out with all the B-roll and everything. But it's something different. It's my Syndicate Diaries. This is where I come to relax, chill out, not really use the camera too much, and just take it all in, fish at the best of my ability without having to film everything I'm doing, and I'm catching. So I'll film every fish I land, and hopefully this Syndicate Diaries is a productive series and it won't dry up just yet. I'm enjoying it at the moment. I'm riding this wave of success. I'm sure it will stop eventually, but for now I'm over the moon. So thank you very much for watching this one. Hopefully Syndicate Diaries 3 won't be too far down the road, and we'll have a few more lovely fish under my belt, because there's still 3 or 4 40s to go for in here. We'll get there eventually, and lots of 30s, beautiful fish. There's so much to go for, but yeah, absolutely over the moon. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying this series. Please let me know in the comments below what you think. Hold up, before I do the full outro, is actually the end of the session now the following day, and I had another fish. So that's what you're about to see. Now the footage of this fish will actually be more in a second video, or another video separate to Syndicate Diaries, on how I do my night self-portraits, because I've been asked by quite a few of you on how I do that. So the full video on that fish will be in a separate video. But as you can see, another lovely fish, and another 30 at 33 pound 12 ounce. That one came off the left-hand rod to the corner of the island last night, and in the middle of the night it went off, and because I'm fishing, the middle rod locked up, and I just burst out of the sleeping bag, saw lights here, I struck the locked up rod, because obviously I don't want any fish getting in there. Pulled absolutely nothing, and somehow picked up the other rod in doing that. I got caught with the handle, and the clutch of the other reel was spinning like mad in my left hand. So a bit of confusion in my sleepy, dazed state, but chucked the right rod down, or the middle rod down, struck into the other one, and it got under the rope, but managed to get it back in the air. 33 pound 12. So the last 7 fish out of here have been 2 20s, 4 30s, and a 46. So absolutely blown away. I'm sure my luck will change again in the future, but for now I'm riding this in just phenomenal wave of luck and well, success really. I don't think it's luck. I put the hours in and the effort. So anyway, that's the end of this Syndicate Diaries, but hand back over to yesterday me for the outro. Please let me know in the comments below what you think, if there's anything I can add to these videos. I'm trying to stay clear of all the rigs and tactics things and just show you the captures and the results and the journey. So please like the video if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future uploads. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I do a lot of stuff on there between sessions, Instagram especially with my story and the timeline of things. There's a lot of live action, so everything I did today went up on Instagram pretty much straight away, bar the catch reports, or the catch photos should I say. That's me done rambling on. Syndicate Diaries Part 2 finished. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you again soon.